Hello everyone. Before I get into this, I just want to say that this video is for educational purposes only, and I do not condone anyone targeting, harassing, or cyberbullying any of the individuals who will be the topic of my discussion here this evening. Okay, so let me give you guys a little backstory. I'm typically the guy who ignores drama. I let everything fall to the wayside. I ignore it, let them go away, let them wallow in absentia. But with that being my policy, the conversations and the stories about me and the mudslinging seem to only go one way. I rarely defend myself because I don't see a point in it. Online discourse rarely ever meets some sort of concession. It's just a lot of speaking in circles to avoid conceding. Come to the conclusion that I'm not going to be able to let it lie anymore. There's some things that I need to speak on because my name is being thrown around and dropped pretty consistently by people who I don't even know. Most of them, I've never even heard of them. Starting to affect me, which it's always affected me, but it's starting to affect those around me. That's what character assassination does. When people don't have any legitimate recourse against you, and when you are speaking the truth, they want to destroy your name and your character and your reputation. It's character assassination. It's reputation destruction. And I read a quote the other day that said, "Never try to destroy someone's character with a lie when yours can be destroyed by the truth." Now with that, let me begin. There's a fellow by the name of Agony. I don't have any ill will towards this guy. I think he is a psychologically tortured individual. I hope he gets the help that he needs, but I have become the outlet of his ire lately. He has, for the last 2 years, I guess, gone around and any chance he gets, he's name dropped me and another fellow who I was on a podcast with, who I guess I'm ultimately going to have to name drop him, but he's been dragging me through the mud every chance he gets. And all this guy does is lie. Everything he says is a lie. And I have all the receipts. I'm going to show you. There's some other folks that I think are pulling his strings and winding him up to come after me because they don't want a one-on-one with me. They've never personally came at me on social media or interacted with me in any way whatsoever. And that's because they're intimidated. Otherwise, why would they block me and then start posting about me? That's why I got to give it to the people who do, want to have a back and forth and a conversation and try to find common ground. And that's how we learn from each other. That's how we understand each other's experiences, right? When you just instantly block people or never even interact with them, but you're going around sending private messages to their acquaintances and friends saying, you shouldn't talk to this guy, you shouldn't be seeing this guy, you should be seen with this guy, you shouldn't hang around with this guy. That's character assassination. And honestly, that's how weak people attack people. And it's all based on lies and out of context screenshots and things like that. And then when the people don't go along with their character assassination, they start character assassinating those people. I'm just going to get into the meat of it. Today, I woke up and I had been sent about 15 DMs by people who said that Agony was name dropping me on YouTube again, calling me alt-right, calling me anti-Semitic, calling me racist, calling me a white supremacist. He said, "Archie does nothing but race bait, support white supremacists, and in general say racist shit on Twitter, to the point where he recently got banned for it." What are you talking about, bro? Then he says, "My guy, all of this stuff is publicly viewable on Twitter. I don't need to screenshot anything." Where, dude? Where? It gets better. He says, "Archie and Boydie both have genuinely harassed and gang-stalked me for actual months, LMAO. I've received actual death threats and have been told to unalive myself by their supporters. They promote negativity and spew vitriol. None of that ever happened, and he can't prove otherwise. It's a lie." Hang on, my sweet summer child. It gets much better. If you know me well, you know I don't make shit up, and I certainly don't state things as a fact unless there's substantial proof toward the claims. Well, hold on to that energy, bud. Yet when Sarge asked you to substantiate those claims with screenshots, you called him a conservative retard. I'm a registered Democrat, so I don't know what you mean by just like them. Strike one. I didn't get banned for bigotry or homophobia or transphobia. I shared a gratuitous depiction of gore. And then my suspension was for a joke I made about killing my wife if she got fat. I'm a comedian. My wife knows I'm not gonna kill her if she gets fat. That's strike two. But it continues. Remember when you and your friends said I got banned on Twitch permanently for being a bigot and a homophobe and a transphobe? Wrong again. I caught a suspension for getting a lap dance during my birthday party on a Daisy RP server. And it's not even a ban. It was for 3 days. I could stream right now on Twitch. I'm not banned. Don't worry, you're still in the game. We won't call that strike three. We'll call that a foul ball. Let's move on. Remember when you claimed that you never told your audience if you ever killed yourself that they would be the reason you did so? Let's let the audience decide if you said it or not before we consider this strike 3.
Just be content that you make a human being on another side of his screen want to kill themselves. Like, if that's what you want to hear, like, you're winning. One day I will. It's gonna be people like y'all's fault. I know you're edgy enough to think that you can handle that weight on your shoulders, but I can tell you right now, you're not big enough to handle that weight on your shoulders, buddy. I can promise you that. But I can very, very promise you, or very much ensure you, that you do not have the mental wherewithal to withstand that kind of weight. One day I will. It's gonna be people like y'all's fault.
It's gonna be people like y'all's fault.
Throw the bet away, dude. That's the ball game. Oh, and by the way, that big, scary, evil, bigot, homophobic Boydie and his 87.8 podcast. Remember them? Here's you begging to be on the podcast before you later on decided that you were so pissed because I outed you threatening to kill yourself to your audience and victimizing them and emotionally abusing them. A lot of those audience members whom we share, they're friends of mine, that you then threatened Boydie to copy strike his channel if he didn't remove the interview that you were featured in, unless I deleted all of the evidence on Twitter that you were a lying, manipulative, abusive piece of shit. And then, after you blocked me, of course, because you'll never speak to me personally, here you are again after I called you out once again for manipulating your audience, accusing me of being banned on Twitter for homophobia and transphobia. What is that, strike 6, 7, and 8? And after all of this, even when Boydie tried to help you, tried to get the info for me to figure out which episode you were talking about, you still struck the channel, which just lets us know it never was about what you stand for and your moral compass, but it was about vengeance. Because you tried to strong-arm him into telling me, hey Archie, delete the evidence. And at the end of the day, you knew you were wrong about all this. That's why you deleted your old Twitter account and you deleted the comments you posted today. But I got the receipts. I'm like customer service, baby. It's all on the computer. I'm gonna try to keep this video under 10 minutes for the sake of my blood pressure. Let me tell you guys exactly what happened from the beginning. I'm a YouTube streamer on DayZ. Like I always do when I see a streamer who only has 2, 3, 4 viewers, I pop in the stream because I want to get a feel for them and then invite them to stream with me so that I can expose them to my community, right? So that they can start getting some viewers from me. I'm a nice guy. I pop into his channel, they're talking about chess. I mention, hey, how do you feel about the castle move? He instantly blocks me. I've never even spoken to this guy before. I thought, that's kind of strange. Maybe he mistook me for someone else. A couple days later, I mention it in my stream, and one of my viewers says, no, he blocked you because he says you're a bigot and a homophobe and all these other buzzwords. And also, he threatened to kill himself on stream because no one was chatting. When no one chats in the streams, he'll whine and cry, so we call him Wagony, and then he'll restart the streams to try to pull more people in. Well, I said, you shouldn't say things like that unless you have proof, man. That's kind of screwed up. To which he replied, oh, I have proof. I have a clip. And then he sent me the clip. So after I saw that, I became angry because a couple of those names in his chat are people who frequent my chat. Those are friends of mine. They're in my Discord. I know these people, and I'm watching this guy emotionally manipulate them into chatting. They're uncomfortable chatting. That's why they're lurkers. I got upset. I got angry. The next day, I see him post a stream going live that says, the streamer that everyone refuses to support. I got angry. So yes, I called him a pitiful bitch. I did. Okay? I was defending the people that I see as my friends. Then he had to go try to shake down Boydie after he blocked me. Also, take a look at this picture. That's my great-grandfather. He's a Holocaust survivor. Yeah, they did it in Italy too. I'm Ashkenazi Jewish, you idiot. Stop calling me an anti-Semite. Yeah, I set my thermostat to your IQ at night so I don't sweat when I sleep. All that aside, I want to sit down with you, man. You can deny me, you can smack my hand away. I'm extending the olive branch. We can reconcile this shit, and I'll delete this video. You sit down with me in a Discord, we'll have a chat. You can bring whomever you want to moderate. I'll bring somebody to moderate for me. This is so corny, but you're defaming my character. What you're doing is libel. It's got to stop, or I'm going to bring more receipts. And I got plenty. I got a Rolodex. I'm like the IRS, and you don't want to get audited by a Jew.